All right, so with 2 minutes to the bell, leading gapper is VTL. This is lower price. Not that interested in it. Second leading gapper is APC. That's too expensive and the float's too high. FTFT from yesterday didn't do super well, so I don't have high hopes for it today. Traded almost 50 million shares of volume yesterday. KTOV, third leading gapper. You can see the float's low. It's up 30%, 2 million shares of pre-market volume. I think this is the one I'm going to be watching first and foremost, and then we'll keep an eye on the high day Momo scanners to see if anything else pops up. This has a trigger at $1.72 on the daily that'll give us room up to $2.50. However, it has a little bit of a history of gapping up and selling off, although as you can see here, not after squeezing up. So let's try to capitalize on the squeeze. If it does want to, open up, that's awesome. If it's tricky, then could just back out of it, no big deal. But I'm going to put an order at $1.55. The pre-market pivot here is at $1.55, the top of this level. So about 40 seconds to the bell. We're going to start trading here in just a couple minutes, or just a couple seconds, really. All right, 20 seconds to the bell. So I'm going to watch the bell. 55 is my possible entry on KTOV. Letting it dip down. It's dipping down. That's fine with me. Back over the $0.50 is my new entry. Watching. 42. I got a starter there. Trying to sell half at 55. There we go. 60. So 50. Stopped out of the rest at 55. New order goes at 60. $420. Almost the same, really, as what we had yesterday on FTFT. Just like a quick 9,000 share scalp out of the gates. In at 45, out at like 51. So the high of this candle is 58. So 60 is my next order for a scalp. We're right above the 200 moving average. 72 is the spot that we were looking at on the daily. Watching here, back in at 55. I'm getting back in at 55 because I think it's going to break over 58. And then 60, there's 61. Seller there. Throwing my orders on the ask to sell the ask. And I'm all out, now up $687 on this one. So that one with, again, 9,000 shares, only added like $200. And now I've traded 36,000 shares today already. So ECN fees are going to be higher. Sorry, let me move this out of the way. So PHUN, I see it moving up. But, with that higher price right now, I'm just going to watch it for a second because it's expensive. So PHUN, this went from $9 up to $10.69. RBZ, I'm surprised RBZ is holding up as much as it is, but what can I say? So PHUN, the high a day on this one is 69. So over 69 is a 1 minute micro pullback on PHUN. The pivot we were looking at, of course, was at 1020. RBZ, the halt level on it is showing at 874. I'm not going to buy it into the halt. I'll just watch it. KTOV selling off. So RBZ is halted. PHUN, the high a day was 69, and the low of this pullback right now is 970. This one's doing something kind of interesting. When I look at the level 2, I'm seeing these kind of like big stacks of orders at like 1040 there. Sort of a big stack, which the first candle to make a new high right there is 1020. But then all those sellers at 10, all the sellers at 40, now look at 85. Something's a little off with this one to me. I'm not sure what it is, but I think for right now, seeing those big stacks of sellers is making me a little nervous, and I guess rightfully so. KTOV, the high is 61, so keep that one on watch. It's Friday, already up $687. I'll take what I can get for Friday. RBZ. Nice, Chad. Good work. So the halt time on RBZ was 9:33, so resumption should be at 9:38 if it's a 5-minute long halt. PAVM offering. PHUN, the high here was 1020. I don't know if breaking that level it would open back up, but it seems like to start the day with that green topping tail is not ideal, so I'm not going to take anything on it yet. RBZ. Daily levels on this one. It's not anything super clear in this price range. Yesterday's high was 930. You can see kind of lots of teeny little lines here. So we don't have big gaps or windows. PHUN, remember the high of 69. On this one, over the $0.50, I might do a scalp if it looked like it was going to break the $0.50 on PHUN and try to sell up towards 11. Just keep that one on watch, just in case it breaks the $0.50. So I'm in there for the break of the $0.50 and selling half, 98. So that's $655 on that one. So now what I'm going to do, PHUN, RBZ will watch to see where it resumes. PHUN over 11, I would add. RBZ, nothing yet. PHUN, watch for the break of 11. There's a 14,000 share seller there at 11. But if we break that level, watching it. RBZ is a 75-cent spread. PHUN. No, stopped out. $700 profit. So that'll put me up $1,300 so far. RBZ. What is going on with this thing? $9.79. Let me see if I have shares available to borrow. No shares available at center point. So the high right now is 10.15. So on this one, what I'll probably try to do is just ride the momentum. Current high on RBZ is 10.48. So over 10.48. I'll take a starter there for the break and try to scalp this up to $11. Halt level is here at 11. So holding 500 shares into this halt. So going into the second halt always carries a little more risk. 500 shares is manageable for me. Let me look at this one. TRNX. That one's a little too cheap at $1. I'm going to leave that one alone. TRNX. Let me just look at it for a second. Yeah. I'm going to leave that one alone for just the moment. PHUN has a high of 11.11. Both of these stocks that are active today, RBZ and PHUN, are similar price, you know, a little bit higher price. First candle to make a new high on PHUN right now would be over 10.70. Depending on where this candle closes. High of the last candle on PHUN is a little higher. High of the last candle is 10.91. Low of this pullback is 10.40. So no doubt 10.40 would be hard stop. High of the current candle was 78. So watching here on PHUN over 78. And it's in there for the break of 78. There's 85. I want to see it back over $11. There's 87 on the ask. $76. 75 on the ask. Stopped out. Gave back on that one like $200. So it's a false breakout, and you know, when that happens, I always just try to get out as quick as I can. I'll keep it on watch though. RBZ was halted at 9:39 and 48 seconds, so resumption will be 9:44. PHUN, when you get the first breakout that fails, then we're starting to look at ABCD setups. High a day is 11.11. New order is going to be at $11. 1,500 shares. FTFT, let me look. Yeah, I see it moving up. The price still is a little lower. And it's not on my scanners yet, so I'm going to keep focusing on RBZ and PHUN for right now. These ones seem like they're giving a little bit more opportunity. So RBZ, or let's see, sorry, RBZ, here we go. This one, now that it's breaking over that level, it's got room to 11.52. PHUN, watch it back over 11. I still have an order ready at 11. I've got about a little more than a minute to resumption. PHUN, watching. So, you know, if it breaks 11, that's where a short seller would stop out. So I've got a small starter there for the break of 11. Filled at 10.97, which is a good entry. It wouldn't totally shock me if we get a little false breakout here. The high was 1120. RBZ is about a minute away from resumption. I sold partial on PHUN at 19 and 18 and the rest at 92. I'll put a new order at 1120 to get back in. So made back the 200 I had lost. So on RBZ, resumption should be in about 40 seconds or so. 20 seconds or so to resumption. 39 to 49. Yep. So the high coming into the halt was 11. So we're looking for continuation on this. I'll move up towards 12. If it does a third halt, that's awesome. I'm not, I'm not sure where it'll stop, but I'm just going to try to ride the momentum. Most likely, this will be in play through a 5-minute setup at the very least. So there's the high, and it looks like this got a break over 11. There you go. There's a break of 11. Selling half. There's 1134 on the ask. This is forming a 1-minute micro pullback. There's 1189. Have an order at 11. Well, I'll just cancel that. No reason to sell there. So 1217 is the next halt going up. I'm not going to buy into a third halt. I'll hold it and what I have left, and then, if it gives us another pullback or something, then that's great. Okay, so RBZ looks like the halt. So sold the rest of it there. Impossible to borrow, no shares available at center point. As much as I wish I could short it. Next trigger would be 1340, but I can't buy into the third halt, so only made $1,000 on that trade, but I'll take what I can get. If I could short it, I'd probably be taking a starter right here, but I don't have shares available. The reason I would take a starter is because going into a third halt, there's a really high risk of a reversal coming out of it. So my starter short would be in the 60s and below 12. I would add, if it went up to 13 or 1350, I would probably add there with a stop at 14. 1340 is a daily trigger right here. PHUN dipping down. So it's halted again at 98. Coming out of the second halt, for a second I thought it was done, because it dropped there down for a second to 1036, and I was like, well, it's coming out of the second halt, but no, that kept going. Mara, a little bit of a lower priced name, with a high there of 69.70. This is a 1-minute flag pattern. There could be a scalp there from 70 up to 80, maybe higher. The volume's a little light. Daily triggers up around 4. I'll take a starter of Mara there for the break of 74. There's 75 on the ask, 77, 79. I want to see it continue higher. There was a 12,000 share buyer there for a second that popped up, which gave me a little confidence to pull the trigger. So now I want to see it just got to hold step. Nope, stopped out. Only $142 of profit. I hit the bid pretty fast. The high is 79. It needed to hold the breakout spot, which was 70. So that's kind of only a 9-cent breakout there. Is, you know, not super impressive. 6,000 shares, about 2 cents per share of profit. So I sold half 77, 73, and the rest at 60. So I ended up filling at the bottom, basically, of that candle. So, all right, well, let's keep looking for something else. RBZ on the third halt. CTRM. CTRM, I'm going to take a starter of CTRM. This one I actually really like on the daily chart. And it's going to halt here at 603. CTRM, this one has, to me, a really good look. That first kind of curling, breaking out, hit the scanner, jumped in it quick. I'm going to put an order on this one at 637 to add, thinking that it's going to open higher, dip, and we've got room on this one up to $8. Especially with the action we've seen today on PHUN and RBZ, lower float stocks. I think this is one to keep a really close eye on. So RBZ halt time was 9:47. Resumption should be 10:52 and 17 seconds. CTRM, PHUN. Someone had mentioned earlier IMRN, which I would say is one to keep an eye on as well. It's not doing anything yet, but you know, if we see things open up. Okay, so RBZ, watching this one, coming out of the halt. So there's a high of 13. So next circuit breaker halt is 1430. Honestly, this doesn't even make sense to me. This is gonna be the fourth halt in a row. So I don't know. Good job for those of you guys that are still holding some of it. I sold it all way too soon, which is now clear in hindsight. But so the problem, of course, is that if I was short, now I'd be, you know, getting squeezed out a little bit. I don't have shares available to borrow it. I keep trying, but not getting filled. So all I can do on this is wait for a pullback, and I guarantee you, when we get a pullback, there's a good chance it'll halt going down. But the first candle to make a new high, keep a really close eye on for a move higher. So CTRM was halted at 950. What I like about it is that it's got a similar kind of breakout chart on the daily, where you've got this trigger here at 770, there at 860, and then up here at 1850. If this starts to open up today with the sympathy on RBZ, we might see some good action. So I've got an order to buy at 937. I'm going to put another order at 952. I would say back of my mind target on this could be a move up to $7. So we're watching resumption here for CTRM, RBZ. We'll watch that one in a second. So the halt level was 603, so really anything above 603 is where I'd be watching. So I've got my order at 652 here. Still halted. So now that's telling me, same as yesterday on PHUN, there's a good chance it's going to open quite a bit higher. So new order is live at 652 to try to add. Target of $7 is becoming more realistic. Oh, am I wrong? What time? Oh, you're right. Okay, so here we go. So I still have the order at 652. We've got 15 seconds to resumption. I'm going to move my order up to 675 to add coming out of this halt. Target still $7. Hands on the buy button. So still halted. Let's look at this other one. CLWT popping up. That one I'm not as sure about just yet. PHUN. PHUN, I'm long here for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. PHUN, what I'm looking at is a break back over 11. So looking for the break of 1075. You can see how we're kind of setting up that first candle to make a new high. Nope, stopped out, lost 500 on PHUN. The high there was 75. I bought at 75, stopped out at 50. I'll just keep my order ready. PHUN might need to do more of a ABCD setup. I thought over 75 it would go. So now RBZ here's up at 15. No FOMO, not chasing it. Not chasing it, not chasing it. Can't buy after the 4th halt in a row. Just have to ride the momentum if you're in it or wait for an opportunity. This is going to be the 5th halt in a row at $16.17. The first pullback I get, I'm going to try to jump in. Crazy. Amazing. I mean, really incredible. All right, so RBZ, amazing. Meanwhile, CTRM, I've got my starter. We've got really no resistance until about $8, and then we've got 861 as a trigger. Looking for sympathy and momentum to carry over to CTRM, so I'm going to put an order on this one. I've got live orders right now at 652 and 676 because coming out of the halts, they often dip and then surge up, and I'm going to put an order at $7 to try to be aggressive on it because of what we're seeing on RBZ, that sympathy momentum. And what's likely is that RBZ is going to probably turn over here at some point, and then traders will focus on the next one that's showing strength. So increasing my max size on this, orders at $7. What I'd be looking for would be second circuit breaker halt in a row. So I'll put an order at $7.50 just in case it opens really high. Just added for the break of 7. Next halt is at 718. Over 718, I'm going to add here. Looking to adding right here for the move into a second halt in a row. Second halt is at 718. $8 is very realistic. Not selling anything, holding the whole thing. So holding my whole position, looking for this to make a big move just like RBZ. So 1850. So RBZ, let's watch this. Halt time was 9:58 and 10 seconds. Sorry, 9:58 and 12 seconds. Resumption will be coming up here in just a moment. So this is where, we're just looking and waiting for that first drop to give an opportunity. I'm putting in 500 shares as my order. The high is 16.17. I would love for this to go into a 6 halt because that would just be amazing. See if it goes all the way up to 20 bucks. I wouldn't mind, just really getting some crazy momentum on this one. So 58. So it should have resumed. So this is going to be a 10-minute long halt. Man, I'm starting to think $20 is not unrealistic on this. I really didn't expect it. All right, so now let's check CTRM. So resumption time on CTRM is 10:06. All right, so let's put up the CTRM chart. So CTRM, looking at 861 as the daily trigger. So this is coming out of the second halt. The high is 718. So I'm going to put an order at 750. I'm okay adding because of what's going on in RBZ, and I'm thinking $8, $9, potentially $10 is realistic. This is one of those days when the market is hot. I'm aggressive. I put the pedal to the metal. So now watch here, $8. So we've got a high right now. So this is a little bit of pullback, the first pullback here. So let's see what this does. The high is 780. So 780 is where I'm going to put my new order to add, over 780. Watching 780. Nope, so we're getting a dip, which I don't like seeing. So I'm still holding 2,600 shares at 48. This is the first halt coming back down. Obviously that doesn't bode super well for, you know, momentum in general. RBZ, let's switch over to this one. The high is 1617. Resumption time should be in about 40 seconds. CTRM, let's see what happens on the resumption. The high was 780. RBZ, we're on our sixth halt. I'm looking for the first halt going down to try to get a scalp coming back up. Resumption time in about 10 seconds. So there's resumption. Next halt is 1870. Wow. Wow. Incredible. So, I mean, really, that's incredible. And what's disappointing is that we didn't see, I really thought we would see that continuation on CTRM. So, you know, coming out of this halt, we'll see what it does. I still have 2,600 shares. You know, the high is 780. So that's the spot that we would need to see break. RBZ, I would say, does have T12 risk. Yes. I would say there's risk of T12 because it's up on 6 halts in a row, you know, very light volume in total. So yeah, there's risk there. T12 is halted pending more information from the exchange, and they can be halted for quite a while. The thing with RBZ is that you know, you can't really buy it up here. It's just too it's not just too expensive. It's too extended. So it doesn't mean that there aren't some people who are pressing the buy button up here, but I can't be that person. I have to wait for a pullback. Now, if I get a pullback, I'll hit it, you know, I'll take a trade on it. But until I get a pullback, I got to sit and wait. So now in CTRM, the one that I thought would give us sympathy momentum, similarly low float, similar kind of daily chart opening up with this potential over 776, 861. you know, let's see what it does coming out of this halt. The low here of this level was 653, and then it goes down to 603. So we gapped 50 cents up, almost 10%, and went straight into 718. So I'm going to see where we get the resumption. The halt time was 10:07. So resumption will be 10:12. You know, generally, obviously, being in a halt going down is never desirable. So, you know, I'll see coming out if it pops up, if I can get some profit, and then, hey, if it rips over 7 and goes right back to 750, I mean, then that's awesome. I don't know if that'll happen, but given what's going on with RBZ, it could. So watching here. So sold on the ask at 622, which was a bad fill, but whatever. The high, when I saw it hitting 608 and starting to fill this gap, I was worried. So I put my order on the ask. The high of this candle was only 670. Is over 670 a long? I don't know. Definitely below 6 is not good. Above 670, you know, could be a long, but I'm not sure. It's never ideal when you have high volume on those two red candles. Let's watch what it does. I'm going to hold my hands on it. I did well on it, but not as well as I could have if it had either broken 8 or if I'd sold the whole thing when it was up before the second halt, or the halt going down. 42 by 46, 43 by 46. I'm up 9 grand today, right now, between CTRM, RBZ, KTOV, PHUN, and MARA. 5 stocks, and I'm green on all 5. Not bad for another sick day. KTOV. So our CTRM is now pretty much off the list. RBZ, I just have to wait for an opportunity to buy a pullback or to buy a dip. This is exactly right. This is why I don't take sick days. I come in even if I'm sick because you just never know. It can be that one day that makes your month. And this is no doubt a fantastic way to finish the week. So RBZ halt was at 10:08, so we're on another 10-minute long halt here, it looks like. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can't take your eyes off these for a second. That's for sure. They can go against you really, really quickly. PHUN, my last trade on it was a loss. You know, I'm only up about $300 on this one. But, you know, I got out of it quick. And if I kept holding it, I would have definitely been red on it, on the name. So RBZ, $20. CTRM, high of the last 5-minute candle is 70. Depending on what happens on RBZ, CTRM may still be in play, may still give us opportunities. I'll put an order at $7 just in case. So RBZ, the halt time was 10:08. Resumption should be 10:13. Sorry, 10:18 and 33 seconds. It's definitely an amazing feeling when you do find the next one and you're in it, and then you're able to ride this type of momentum with big size. That was what I was hoping on CTRM. I wanted to see an immediate break over $8. The second it kind of dipped down there, I was like, uh-oh, it's not good. And, and then it dropped fast. So, but this one could have been good. In at 6, added at 7. My average was 650 with 10,000 shares. Got to move up to 780. Was up 13 grand on it for a second. Was looking for a second halt into 8. Opens higher, goes to $859. That's a $25,000 winner. That's how it happens. Finding the next one that's going to be strong and getting in it as quickly as you can. But the momentum didn't carry over, so sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Maybe with RBZ tying up people's buying power, or just the fact that it's still going, people are just more focused on it. Resumption is in about 30 seconds. So there you go, 20 bucks. Wow. So is it going to do another halt going up? Looks like this might be the top right here. 2173 would be halt going up. I see 2173 on the ask, 2020 on the bid. 2173 on the bid. This looks like it might get halted going up, 7th time. Nope, so the halt level moved up to 2288. So now it's 2288. It's struggling here a little bit. This is often a sign of a reversal, but it's not. I probably, if I had shares available, I'd be looking to try to maybe take a starter here. It feels like it's topping out. Below 22 for sure, I would be short. But it's still going higher. So 2368, circuit breaker halt keeps moving up a little bit. So I'm not sure where I would short it now. Looks like it's going to get halted 7th time in a row. So CTRM curling back up a little bit. Is it worth another try? High a day is 780. High of this candle here is 710. So this did a little micro pullback here from 85 up to 710. So over 710 could be a scalp up to 750. I'm in here for the break of 710. I'm going to try to scalp this up to 750 on CTRM. So looking at 715, 728. 728 is a circuit breaker halt. 742 is the halt. It's moving up a little bit. Right now it's churning. But 720, 725, that level breaks. Then we've really got something we're working with. 715, watch 715. There's green there. 707, 708, 725, boom. $750 is still that spot that I'm eyeing. $704, $719 above $705. So right now it's struggling a little bit. Sold the rest on the ask for right now. I'm going to put an order at 730 to get back in for the break of 750. This one is churning. No doubt about it. So new order goes at 750. You know, it's not going to be back on high day scanners until it's over 780. So this is a 1 minute micro pullback here with a high of 730. So watch it over 725. And then, you know, it keeps dropping down. The low of the pullback is 680, which is a little, I mean, that's a big range. It's a 50-cent range. High of the current 1 minute candle is 718. Look at that, 725. Traders were watching that level, that first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Now 744. My amount of shares per trade is anywhere from 6,000 to 12,000. Watching the break over 750. Adding here for the break of 750. Halt level is 64. If this gets halted at 64, it will almost definitely resume higher, and we will be above $8. There's 76 is the new halt level. Watch this here going into 76. Momentum is coming into it. Looks like it's going to get halted here at 76, and then we're going to be back over $8. So I have a 6,000 share starter, and I'd be willing to add another 6,000 shares coming out of the halt for the break of 8. Sometimes, you know, these ones take a couple tries before they work. RBZ looks like it's gonna be another 10-minute long halt. This is a crazy day. I mean, these types of days don't happen often, and when they do, it's always on a Friday. Fridays are so funny. They're either a total hit, or, you know, a miss. It just catches people off guard. I think FOMO just comes out stronger on Fridays. I don't know what it is. All right, so what we're seeing here is right now it's coming up on 10:30, and we are seeing absolutely insane momentum. I mean, this is crazy. RBZ is currently up 174% from $7.50. Currently, it's at almost $25. CTRM, I'm in right now. This one is looking good for a move over 861 and a squeeze into this window here. I took my first trade on it here and then just got back in at 750 for the break of the high a day. Looking for this one to go into $8, but I mean, it's like this is a really crazy day. We're just seeing some insane momentum. So right now, RBZ is on the 7th circuit breaker halt in a row. 7 halts in a row. Just going up more and more and more and more. This is not what I was expecting for Friday. I mean, really, I'm super impressed. RBZ, I only made $1,000 on it because I sold it at like $11. I had no idea it was going to keep going. I sold it, I think, after the second halt, going into the third halt. And now it's on the 7th halt. So, you know what? That's kind of what we always say. You're either leaving money on the table or you're giving back profit. And today, I guess, I left some money on the table on RBZ. But hey, I'm proud of myself for not giving into FOMO and chasing it way up here. I'm not going to, of course I could have chased it at 15 and I would have gotten lucky. And that's what we say is the worst thing about the market, the fact that we'll sometimes reward you for breaking the rules. It's inconsistent. So I'm watching RBZ for resumption. RBZ is going to resume at about 10:30. So 10:30 and 5 seconds. So this is going to resume in about 90 seconds. And CTRM, which I'm currently holding, is going to resume in just about, a minute. So on CTRM, I have an order now to buy at $8, and on this one I'm looking at 861 as my first target, and if this thing really opens up, we might get a move up here to 9 or 10. Sympathy, momentum is what it's about. So I want to try to ride this momentum as much as I can. These are the days where pedal to the metal. Right now I'm up $9,358, and this one day is putting a huge dent into the monthly goals. So RBZ currently at 25. I've got that one on this chart, just right here. Oops, RBZ. There we go. CTRM watching resumption. So CTRM is the one. RBZ, I can't buy it up here. Obviously, it's up way, way, way too high. CTRM resumption here is in about 15 seconds. So I've got an order at $8 on CTRM. And I want to see, is this going to go into a second halt? Are we going to get 2 halts in a row? Is it going to really open up? So I want to let it pop up, pull back. If it opens high, so watch here. Watch the break of 8. So $8, we're dipping. And then the break of 8 is where I'm looking to add. So watch CTRM over 8. Boom, just added at 8. There's 820, 830, 848. So on that, I scalp the trade and take a little bit of profit through that breakout and then adjust my stop to break even. So the high is 848. And I'm holding, my cost basis right now is 66. So that's volatility, no doubt about it. Let's see what this does here. So stopped out of the rest of it for right now. I'm now up $13,709 on the day. The high there, we hit a high of 48. That was a little scalp there for the break of 8. Now let me look at RBZ, doing the first halt going down. So RBZ, I'm going to look to buy the dip. So this is likely going to open lower down in this area. And that's where I want to try to scalp it by buying the dip. So quite a day here, no doubt about it. CTRM, the high of 850. We'll definitely be watching that one as it comes back up. But RBZ dip buy is what I'm focused on first. No, I can't short RBZ. I don't have any shares available. So no shares available to short it, which is a bummer, but I look for the dip and then buy the dip for a scalp coming back up. So I have to go with a little bit of smaller size on it. I'm going to put an order at maybe around $18 right now, and we'll just kind of see where it opens. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update of what's going on today. RBZ, totally crazy. CTRM, totally nuts. RBZ, I'm going to look for a dip buy as a possible scalp here. I'm going to shut off this feed because it's actually using a lot of my CPU. I'm up at 97%, so I'm going to shut it off and just go back to streaming to the room. All right. ECN, Cody, you can really use any of them. Any direct route is going to be faster than a smart route. So any direct route is going to be good. So RBZ halt was at 10:30 and 55 seconds. There's a good chance it'll be a 10-minute long halt going down. All right, so watching RBZ here. I'm gonna put an order for 500 shares to try to do a dip buy. I want to see where it opens. I have to be careful on these because the risk is certainly high. So right now I'm gonna put the order at 1850. It needs to open quite a bit lower for me to feel confident about doing a dip buy. So still halted. CTRM coming back up a little bit, but the 5-minute isn't quite ready, I don't think. I don't like the high red volume on that candle. So resumption is about a minute away on RBZ. All right, so let's see what this one does. I didn't realize during this whole recording I had my pre-market gap scan and chart up and not my trading screen, so I'll switch that now, but that's annoying. So CTRM, some people would probably buy that on a break of 89, but I'm going to sit tight for right now. I'm going to focus on RBZ. So RBZ, I'm looking at possible bounces around 18. It could halt a second time going down, so you know that's risk. In order for me to want to do a bounce, it has to open a lot lower. But given this went from 8 to 20 plus, I don't know. We'll see where it opens. I'm going to go with smaller size, 200 shares. I just don't feel confident enough to take big size. Still halted. Okay, so now we're looking at potentially a 15-minute long halt. That tells me it could open very, very low. I mean, like LFIN low, like it could open at $12 or something like that. If they're not able to match the orders yet, there's, you know, that's where I'm worried. You've got an imbalance on the sell side. And well, it's not halted on a T12 yet, so it's just currently a circuit breaker halt. So we're going to be looking every 5 minutes for a resumption. CTRM. First 5-minute candle to make a new high would be over 89. There's a little pivot here, as you can see, at 78. It's a little higher risk. It's probably not a trade I would take if I didn't already have cushion on the day. But if it broke 78, that for me would be a scalp up to $8. Put my order at 80. This may not be ready for a breakout. It may take another. So I'm holding my hands on this for a second because I was thinking the way it just dipped there, it looked like maybe it was going to break. Oh man. So hidden seller at 8. I could have scalped this from 80 up there to the 90s, but I only had my order loaded for 1,500 shares, so it's not the end of the world that I missed it. But that is the first 5-minute candle to make a new high there. High a day is 848, so we would need to break over $8. I could put an order at 810. If we start to open up, start taking starters as it's moving up, that's often what I'll do it with this type of setup. Below 750 is obviously bearish. So that's bearish. So resumption on RBZ should be in about 1 minute. So watching RBZ for resumption. We know the high was $27. Crazy. So this is a dip buy setup. The risk is higher on it, obviously. I'm up on the day by 13,700. Only up 1,000 on RBZ though, so I have to be careful. So it looks like it's going to halt a second time going down, which is not going to give me a dip opportunity. If it broke, you just have people that are selling here that are panicking. They're like, whoa, what happened? Oh my God, what's going on? So it's halted a second time going down. So no dip yet because it hasn't started. I didn't see a single green print. No one, everyone's waiting. Yep, CTRM halted going down. So this realistically is probably going to do it for me. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that it's really worth it for me to try to get all that serious about a bottom bounce on RBZ. I'm just glad to have another really good green day. No, I only had the one trade on RBZ at the beginning of the day before it really opened up, and then I felt like I was chasing it. All right, so looks like we got another 10-minute long halt. I'm up 13,700 right now. Yeah. Halt was at 46.09. Resumption would be 51.09. So it's still halted. So resumption will be 56.09. So we'll watch resumption here. So resumption should be in about 30 seconds. We may open as low as $13. It's certainly not impossible. Obviously no shares available to short, so can only trade this one direction. So I'm going to put an order at maybe 15 here for a possible scalp. 250 shares. If it looks like it's going to halt a second time going down, what I'm going to be looking for is green on the time and sales. So another long halt, maybe a 15-minute long halt. No, not over the $1 million mark today, because we did the breakdown yesterday or the day before, and I was like 30,000+ away. So today's a great day, no doubt about it. It's an awesome day. Feel really good about it. But no, it's not going to be crossing that level today. That's okay though. Today's not my day for that. In 2019, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Probably around 130,000, maybe 140,000 after today. Still tracking for around $500,000 this year, as long as I can keep it up and not have another red stretch like I had last month. Last month was my first red month in more than a year. So I was due for a little pullback. It's just rough timing. I could say I'm a little disappointed I didn't capitalize on RBZ any better, but on the other hand, I'm proud of myself for not chasing it. This is obviously one of those days where if I had just chased it with 5,000 shares at 15, obviously I could have done really well. But I had a really good session with Ted on Monday, which we recorded, and I'm going to upload for you guys into the classes, where we were talking about when is it okay to break a rule, because that's a tough thing with trading. Sometimes you break a rule and you get rewarded for it. And then you start to learn, sometimes you can get away with it, and it can make it very hard to follow rules when you have inconsistent follow through. I don't trade penny stocks because I pretty consistently lose money, to the point where I'm just like, every time I do it I lose money. You're not going to keep doing it. You just stop. But when half the time it works, that's the Hail Mary pass. Sometimes it works, and that's why sometimes you go for it. It's crazy, but every now and then it works, and that's the worst part. If it never worked, you would never do it. The halt is, well, actually, kind of lost track of time there. So 46 to 51. So 46 to 56 was 10 minutes. To 01 was 15 minutes. So now we're on a 20-minute long circuit breaker halt. So for 11:06 and 9 seconds potentially. I feel like the stock has spent more time halted today than it's spent trading. All right, so watching here for possible resumption. I'm going to put my order down around, I think, $13. Okay, just checking my hotkey there. So we halted at 17:55. I'm thinking between 12 and 13 possible resumption. 1340 is the 200 moving average. So and 1235 is the VWAP. So possible bounce off that level, and then the first halt coming back up. Shorts are going to cover because there are some people that has shorts available, shares available. So you know there's going to be some covering on that kind of drop. So you know can expect that there will be a bounce. It's just a matter of you know where it starts to reverse and when it happens. The risk check failed is there is a good chance that that's going to happen if I use a limit order, but when the price is too deep, I'm going to say do not warn at and do not warn at for right now. So I'll take those off. We'll see if that fixes that issue, and maybe I'll put my order at 1450 for right now. So resumption should be in about 16 seconds or so. Okay, watching. So this is all about the time and sales. Still no resumption. So now this is getting kind of like, all right, you know, it's been halted now for 20 minutes. Are we going to be on a 25-minute long circuit breaker halt? Yeah, hold on. Let me look. Let me look. Wondering the same. Scanners consider last. I'm trying to see where you're seeing last. Oh, the one on the website? Okay, hang on, let me pull that up. No shares available to short RBZ for me, so no, I didn't short it. So, yeah, so those prices, I'm not sure exactly. That might just be as of that time, and it doesn't update. I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't use that scanner during the day, though. So RBZ, just gonna move this over here. So the halt time, 10:46. So resumption could be at 11:01, 11 and 9 seconds, possibly. So still have a order ready around $14. So possible resumption in 20 seconds, although, you know, the longer this is halted, the kind of less interested I am in trying to trade it coming out of the halt, but we'll see where it resumes. So watching here with an order at 14 for 200 shares. There's some people that will trade these types of dips with big size, you know, 10,000 shares, because you can get a quick dollar per share. So watching. So I'm in here to try to scalp it at 14. So I'm in. I actually got, I don't even know how that's possible, but I'm not going to question it. I got 600 shares. My average is 1354. So this is a dip buy. I got filled at the same time. I filled 200 shares at 14 and 200 shares at $12.90 at the same second. 11/11/19, 200 shares at 14, 200 shares at $12.90, and then 200 shares at $13.74. Like I said, there are people that are in this right now with 6,000 shares. There's people that are going to be in this with 10,000 shares. I'm not that guy. So I'm going to scalp this. You know, target would be a move back up towards 17, you know, at least, you know, 15, 16. So long for a bounce off the VWAP. I used a limit order. So hopefully this isn't halted for another 25 minutes, but I don't think it will. Nice, Nathan. Yeah, I mean, that was a good short. This is definitely a place where I would have covered a short if I was short. An amazing short, no doubt about it. The only problem is obviously it's such light volume. You know, it's a little bit hard to. It would be hard to trade with big size. But this is one of those setups that, you know, the more I practice it, probably the more comfortable I'll get with it. From a technical perspective, I would say it has room back up to the low here of 1755. I don't, you know, I don't know that it's going to go that high. We have also, for what it's worth, seen stocks do this type of thing and halt going back up several times in a row and even make new highs, which is crazy, totally crazy. And I don't expect that, but you have to be willing to at least acknowledge that the market can be irrationally strong. This stock today was irrationally strong, and it may not be done yet. So we'll see where it resumes. You know, the first halt going up is obviously what I like. We would be looking for a resumption high, a break of 15, 16, you know, and see how high it goes. So the halt time was at 11:11 and 38 seconds. So resumption could be as early as 11:16 and 38 seconds, which puts it a little less than a minute away. So possible resumption here in 30 seconds. So that's a great question, Marvin. Why didn't I buy the dip on the first halt? I didn't see any green on the time and sales. I was waiting to see green on the time and sales, and that's when I pressed the buy button. Now, this shows red at 14:08, but it always shows red when stocks are halted going up. That's the way it always is. So I don't worry about that. But on the first resumption, there was literally no green whatsoever. It was just straight red. So now the question is, will it go into a second halt? I could put an order here to add potentially. I'll put an order maybe at 16. You never know. So let's see what this does here. So it looks like we're going to be on a 10-minute long halt. Level 2 right now shows 1550 by 1560, so opening up around that level would obviously be really nice. And for those of you guys that, that did hit it with 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 shares, I give you a lot of credit. Good for you for stepping up to the plate. I'll be honest, I'm too afraid to take that kind of size of this setup, but once you learn the strategy, you just accommodate it to your risk tolerance. Yeah, you can cancel orders, I think, as long as they're not a market order. So resumption will be probably around 11:21 and 38 seconds. So about 2 minutes to resumption. I bought with limit orders that were set at, I don't know, like $14.50. So I basically just bought like pure market orders. And I got a really good fill at $12.90, a bad fill at 14, and so-so fill at 1374. So I've got a 1354 average with 600 shares. So, this is my starter, and this is reasonable for me. So we'll see if we get to move up towards 1755. We'll see how high it pops up. The low is 12. The high right now is 14. I think at least 15, 16 is realistic. I would, at this point, probably set my stop at 13. So, I don't want to lose too much on it. So that'd be a $300 loss if it drops down. And since I'm already up 13,700 on the day, I can afford the risk on this one with the potential that it does make a move higher. So I've got a 200 share order ready at 16. We've got about 38 seconds to resumption. 5-minute increments. Yep. So we'll watch the resumption. I want to see green on the time and sales. I'll see if that gives me the opportunity to take a quick scalp. I'll see what the spreads are like. If the spreads are really big, I might not add. I'll just kind of play it by ear. Halt price was 14.08. So from 1354, I don't know that I would have gotten such generous fills if I had taken bigger size, if I'm going to be honest. So watching here, over 16. So let's see what this does. No, stopped out at 14. So I made like $300 on it, but I tried to put an order to sell at 15.69, but I couldn't fill. That's okay. $300. Again, if I had tried to take 6,000 shares on this one, I'd probably still be holding it now in a halt going down. I don't think I would have been able to get filled all of my order. I mean, how much volume was there on these two candles? 27, only 30,000 shares of volume. So yeah, but that's okay. That's gonna do it for me here. Up $14,044. That's a great way to finish the week. Really solid. So happy about that, and going to the weekend feeling good.